Got this baby in hand. See that? See that? Finally, a review of this after like so many months. So this is my second time filming this. I filmed this video last week, but for some reason my audio got messed up. Hillary said, you know, it's just bad audio for one video. And I thought to myself, I have to edit this too, so I don't want to put myself through that distorted clip. So thank God I'm redoing this for you guys. But anyways, hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we got another video, and as you can tell by the title, it's the review of the FUjifilm XS10. The reason why it took so long with this review is because I want to use it to fully understand its strength, its weaknesses, and its quirks. Now, Fujifilm isn't sponsoring this video. I bought this camera with my own money, but I would love it if Fujifilm would hook your boy up with like some review units, you know. It would be great if Fujifilm just send me some gear to review, man. Like, come on, Fuji, if you're watching this, just hook it up, man. Like, who do I have to contact to make this happen? Like, just hit me up already. Or otherwise, I'm switching to Sony. I'll do it. But anyways, I wanted to give this camera its praises because it's an amazing camera. Like, it's really good for its price. So if you guys are new to photography and you want to know what camera to get for all your needs, this camera has a little bit of everything for everybody. This camera is light, the material feels hollow and plasticky. If you're looking for that premium feel, you're not going to get it with this camera, but that's okay. I kind of like it like this because of how light the materials are. This camera is an entry-level camera targeted to the newbies and the amateur. It could be used for anybody, like even professionals as well if you're looking for a B camera. You're not going to get the weather sealing like you get with the xt4, so just keep that in mind. I gotta mention the way this camera is set up, it slows me down sometimes. Now this is coming from someone that uses the xt4 and that has that muscle memory from the xt4. So I really hate pressing this ISO button to change my ISO. With the xt4, I had it set on my front wheel dial, right? That is one annoyance that I will eventually get over once I get that muscle memory down. And the PASM or the PASM dial is here, and this is targeted to people coming from the DSLR lines. And what makes Fujifilm cameras so different is the ISO, the shutter speed dial that they have. And that gives you more of a vintage manual camera way of shooting. And for the inexperienced Fuji users, using those dials could be so confusing. So I understand why Fujifilm decided to go the PASM dial route. And it's all about the bottom line, baby. Like, Fujifilm wants to sell more cameras, so they're targeting a broader audience. The flippy screen is here for people making videos and who are vlogging. So this is great for, you know, people that wants to start a YouTube channel, that wants to vlog. Like, the flippy screen is so clutch, I'm telling you, it's great. Using this outside in like harsh sunlight or like during the day, it's kind of hard to see your photos inside the EVF and outside the LCD screen. So that is one of the compromise. This camera only has one memory card slot, which is fine for me for what I do. I like everything in one card anyways. It makes it easier to find. And if I had two memory card slots, I usually have to take out both cards to transfer those files over. So that's just an extra step. The dreaded NPFSW battery makes a return to this camera, and I know everyone hates this battery, but I gotta mention that the battery life on the XS10 isn't that bad at all. It's quite respectable. The portrait session I did with Kuro was shot on the XS10 with one battery, and I shot over like 500 shots and still had like about half battery life left over. And I think one of the reasons why the battery life lasts longer on the XS10 is because they don't have the bright EVF or the bright LCD backscreen like they do in the X100V and the xt4. Because of that sharp, bright EVF, it draws a lot of power. I was quite surprised when I found out the battery life on the XS10 didn't suck, or didn't suck that much. The deep hand grip for me is probably the best feature about this camera. This is something missing from the xt4, and I love it. It makes it easier to hold. I feel safe and secure walking around with this thing because of the deep hand grip. I wish more cameras have grips like this because it helps a ton. This camera also has IBIS, and this is great for people wanting to use this for video to get some great stable looking footage. What can I say? It has the same sensor as the Fujifilm X-T4 and the X-T3. You're going to get some great looking photographs. You're going to get all the Fujifilm's current film simulation, and it is mapped to a single dial here, and it gives you a small explanation on which film simulation is which I find is pretty cool. It gives you a little description over there. And because it has the same sensor as the X-T4, you guys are going to get some high quality looking images. There are no loss in quality. It's the exact same. So the XS10 makes a great backup camera or a B cam if you guys want to keep it in the Fuji family. And for video, it can shoot up to 4K 30 and up to 240 frames per second full HD. It only does 8-bit with F-Log, which is crazy because you know, people who are buying this camera, chances are they don't know anything about log profiles or how to color grade, but it's cool that they added the log profiles in if you guys are curious about how to color grade your footage. My friend Jake got the XS10 because of my recommendation. He wanted something a bit better than his Canon Rebel because he does a little bit of everything. He wants to take photos with it and he wants to like do more video stuff. I'm going to show you guys some footage that he got with the XS10. He does a better job at filming creative videos than I do. Okay, minus the drone shots in the videos, everything was shot on the XS10. So if you guys are wondering if the XS10 can do the job, hopefully this video can convince you that you can get a lot of video work done if you don't need the 10-bit log profiles. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Here it is. Enjoy.
About 4 miles. Roger. Actual speed 21.
O2 Delta contract side, that's where we bring the casualties to. Then we can consolidate and figure out where we're going to go from there.
So what do you guys think? Was it good? Let's get on to the quirks and the negatives of this camera. Now, if you're coming from an X-T2, X-T3, X-T4, you're going to notice the EVF and the LCD screen isn't as sharp and bright. I have problems trying to look at my images when it was sunny outside. The eye cup on the XS10 isn't terrible. It doesn't block any sun out. And again, this is me coming from the X-T4 where everything feels premium, and the eye cup was one of those things that was overlooked, and I can't believe how much I miss it. Just using my XS10 a lot. And the battery life. Battery life is just terrible for video. Now, I just told you that battery life is good for photos. If you're strictly using it for photos, it's pretty good. But as soon as you start filming video in 4K, your battery is going to die out fast. I recorded a 20-minute vlog and the battery just died on me like right away. And when I switched out the battery, I noticed that this one was a bit warm. So just keep that in mind, that like it does get a bit warm if you're gonna shoot consistent 4K footage. Another thing is this camera suffers from these lags. It has like this freezing issue. There are instances where this camera would freeze and lag after like a few seconds of continuous bursts, and it would not start up again. It made it very hard for me to review my photos and show to the models and show to the clients that I was working with. I have to remove the battery several times during a shoot and put it back in. And I thought it was the memory card. So I put in one of the better, faster memory cards, and I still get moments where the camera would freeze and lag up, and it's quite annoying. It did again when I did the shoot with Kira. And let me say, it's one of those things where you live with, but when it happens to you, you just get like super frustrated with your camera. It kind of makes me want to switch to Sony. You think I'm lying? I'll do it. But I don't know what's wrong with it. Like, can this be fixed with a firmware update? If anyone knows about this, let me know, because this is super annoying. And the last negative I would have is the camera settings. I use all my custom dials from C1 to C4 for my Fujifilm recipe. So, you know, again, I dial in my colors, my sharpness, my highs, my shadows, etc. Let's just say everything looks good on C1. And then I switched to C2 because I wanted a different look and a different film recipe. I would want the settings to stay the same. Every time I switch over to a new custom dial, the aperture and the shutter speed and the ISO could be something totally different. And sometimes I would change it and then I would see my screen would be overexposed. And then I have to take time again to go back and dial in those settings again. Hopefully this could be fixed in a firmware update where you can just leave the shutter speed, the ISO, and the aperture to be unaffected when you switch over, because that's one of the things that really is annoying for me too. You know, I'm in a groove and I want to see what this film recipe would look like, and next thing you know, it's underexposed, and then I'm like, fuck. So I have to go in and then just do everything again, and that takes 10 to 20 seconds sometimes. So again, in order to streamline this, Fuji's got to fix it, man. I don't know if this happens to you guys, but like when I use this and when I throw it in my bag, I don't baby my gear, okay? Just look at that on-off switch. I would toss it in the bag and then I would just toss it in the car and then just do my thing. And then for some reason, you know, after some moving around, the front dial gets turned on without like me going in there. It's just moving around too much in the bag, let's say. But I don't think it should be easily turned on. Like, it's gonna be super annoying to find out that this switch has been on this entire time and it's been draining your battery while you were sleeping. So that's one thing that, like, this thing, like, no Fujifilm. So next time, the next one you do, this thing has to be a little bit tighter. That's what she said. It has to have a little more restriction because for whatever reason, it is too loose. It is too loose, man. Like, too loose. Pause. Do something with this switch because it's just giving up. It's too easy. It's too easy. So final thoughts. With all the quirks, I still think this camera has a lot to offer at an affordable price. I really like this camera a lot. I'll live with its quirks if it means that I get this in a lightweight package with a great image sensor. For me, I love this camera for photography. I use it mainly for photos now, and the xt4 lives as a video camera. If you're a content creator who just needs to film some quick video and that doesn't have time to color grade, this XS10 could be for you. With its built-in film simulations, you can choose like the type of look you want. There's like so many to choose from and it looks like it's already graded, okay? So it's really, really good. And if you're someone who shoots professionally and you want a backup, you get the XS10 if you want to save some money instead of buying like a second xt4 body. The XS10 has a little bit of everything for everybody. I took this traveling with me and I just love how tiny it is. It just stows away in your bag so neatly because of its small form factor. And that's one thing that is really, really important to me now as I get older. My bag can't carry that much weight anymore, so I have to be like very cautious of what I'm putting on my back, and the XS10 makes my bag so much lighter, which my back really does appreciate. What are your thoughts about the XS10? Do you have it? Do you like it? Do you love it? Let me know in the comments below because I would love to hear what your thoughts are. And don't forget to follow me on my socials, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Once again, my name is Tongue, and I'll see you in the next video. I love you. Okay, bye. My cup sucks. It's so trash. There's no D-pad. There's also no D-pad. So you're gonna have to use this joystick. That's another thing I forgot to touch on.